We do. Back to the Supreme Court we go, because there has been another big ruling that has just come down, and it has to do with abortion clinic buffer zones. It's a case that was brought by Massachusetts, and they have made a decision on it. Shannon Bream joins us with the details at the Supreme Court. Hey, Shannon.
Martha, and it's a unanimous opinion basically striking down these buffer zones that created a 35-foot buffer around any abortion clinics in Massachusetts. And basically the court said, through some fractured opinions, but all voting 9-0 for this, saying that they just simply went too far under the First Amendment. Writing for the overall court opinion, the Chief Justice John Roberts said the buffer zones burden substantially more speech than necessary to achieve the Commonwealth's asserted interests. And Massachusetts had argued all along and during the arguments here at the court that they were worried about violence at the courts. They were worried about people showing up and haranguing women who may be there seeking treatment or seeking an abortion. So the court is in one voice saying, we have a First Amendment, and you may have to hear speech that you don't want to have to hear. And there are other ways that Massachusetts could handle this. You could have a police officer or an off-duty officer or hire security, something like that. There are all kinds of things that were thrown around during the arguments saying there are other options. And you may hear some cheering here. A big pro-life group gathered here this morning has been singing and praying. And when this was run out and they got word of what was in it, a huge win for them, obviously. But at issue here, there were a couple of older volunteers. I mean, we're talking about a woman in her 70s who would go and quietly pray on the sidewalk. And she brought suit saying, I'm not here to harass anyone. I want to pray for these women. If they want to speak to me, I would love to speak to them. But there are no signs. There's no screaming. And essentially the court said, you can have some kind of buffer zone, but this goes way beyond the state's interest in protecting its interest in making sure it's a safe area.
Yeah. In one part, they mentioned sidewalks and other public areas that run through those zones, and how do you have jurisdiction over those zones when people are coming to protest? So, Shannon, thank you very much. We'll keep watching throughout the afternoon. Very exciting time at the Supreme Court.